Do you remember Boris Becker? If you're a tennis fan, I'm sure you do. Maybe you saw him play as a child, or maybe your parents were big fans. Either way, Boris Becker was a special athlete. He dominated men's tennis in the 1980s and 90s. The blonde hair, the rapid serves, all of it attracted millions of fans around the world. They called him Boom Boom. That's how fast he served. Boris Becker retired with 6 Grand Slam titles. 3 of them came at Wimbledon. His victory in 1985 made him the youngest men's champion. Back then, Becker was the king of London. 37 years later, things have changed. Today, Boris Becker is on trial in London. What are the charges? In 2017, Boris Becker was declared bankrupt. He owed money to a private banking firm in London. How much money? Around $14 million, 1-4. But that was just the tip of the iceberg. Put together, Boris Becker's debt was around $60 million. And to settle this debt, Becker had to sell off his trophies. He did auction some of them, but others he refused to hand over, like the 1985 Wimbledon Cup and the Australian Open trophies from 1991 and 1996. So now the court has intervened. Boris Becker is being accused of not handing over his trophies and, by extension, not settling the debt. If found guilty, he faces jail time. Frankly, all of this is hard to comprehend. Boris Becker had everything going for him: the fans, the glory, the money. In his prime, he raked in $60 million. So how did the boom boom go bust? The short answer is this: a problematic lifestyle. Boris Becker lost $25 million in a divorce settlement, $1.2 million in a paternity suit, and $2 million for tax evasion. His fiscal habits were much like his on-court habits: volatile, immature, reckless. Yet Boris Becker was not alone. Athletes falling from grace is becoming a common headline. For some athletes, it's the money. For others, it's the character. And in rare cases, it's both. All of us know Tiger Woods. He's one of the best golfers in history, yet his personal life is a disaster. Tiger Woods had affairs with more than a dozen women while married. Lance Armstrong, 6-time winner of Tour de France. In 2013, he admitted to using performance-enhancing drugs throughout his career. Overnight, he went from hero to zero. American footballer O.J. Simpson. He was tried for murdering his wife and friend. O.J. was eventually found not guilty, but his public standing never recovered. What do these examples tell you? That fame does not come easy. It's not just about becoming the best athlete, it's about becoming the best person. Unfortunately, these athletes could not do that. They fell for the trappings of fame. And I do realize how hard it is for them. It is very lonely at the top of the pyramid. There is pressure to perform, there is pressure to show off. Suddenly, the world expects you to live in a certain way, maybe drive sports cars or zoom around in private jets. Some people fall for that. They disregard their finances, they spend more than they can earn. And for athletes, this is especially dangerous. You don't have an endless career. You can't play till you're 60. Most professional athletes are done by their early 30s. That leaves a small window to secure their future, to make enough money. Athletes like Boris Becker have failed to do that. Another lot fall for a different kind of trap: drugs. In their desperation to win, they abandon their principles, and that is unforgivable. You've let yourself down, you've let your sport down, and most importantly, the fans, the young children who look up to you. And why just athletes? Take any job, any profession. The idea must be to uphold principles. If you do that, success will follow. Boris Becker's fall from grace will trigger debates. Younger athletes will hopefully be more careful about their finances. Perhaps they will invest for their retirement. Having said that, we must focus on the root cause: a culture that puts perfection over values, performance over principles, and victories over teachings. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.